Hey everybody, it's Austin here, or Luna, coming at you with a new story video. Yeah, hello. I have a really interesting one today. Really good one of my personal favorites, one that I've been waiting to tell for a while. I've been waiting to tell it because it's pretty long, and I know you guys will probably like it. And the topic as well is a pretty good topic, and that mixed with a long video, it's pretty special. So I've been waiting. I thought today would be a good day. I just got up. It's like 3:30 p.m. I thought, you know what better way to start the day than just immediately make a video. So if my voice sounds tired at any point, that's why. You'll probably hear it go from tired to not tired by the end of this. But yeah, today's story, man, it's a good one. So as many of you may know, I've had some relationships in the past, okay? I'm not a complete, slayer like people think I am. I have a lot of videos on my channel about previous relationships and, girls I've dated, and people think that I'm, out here playing the field like crazy, when in reality, a lot of these relationship stories are about, the same people. I just changed their names to keep their identity private. But this girl, the one I'm about to talk about in today's story, I've never talked about in a story before, okay? She's a brand new character, okay? So this story takes place back in 2016, a very great year for me, a great year for many, and yeah, all around just fun, good year, right? For the most part, I don't have many complaints about 2016. However, the story I'm telling today, it's kind of a complaint, okay? So back in the day, specifically 2015 to 2016, actually I'd say even up until 2017 maybe, I had the same exact routine every day. Literally all I would do is I would get up, I would, shower, eat breakfast, I would then make a video, I would upload the video, and then I'd do either one of two things. I would either play video games the whole night and then just play till I'm tired and then go to sleep and, repeat, or I would try and find some friends to hang out with and do the same thing. Just hang out with them till I was tired, go home, go to bed. It was a great life. Yeah, I was very lucky as a teenager. The fact that I was able to leave school early, do YouTube full time, and have a social life and just do YouTube, it's a very, very lucky thing to be doing, and that's why I am so grateful to this day for it and you guys. So yeah, that was my routine back then, and this starts off like any other normal day back then in 2016. It was summer 2016 to be specific. I had just woken up. I did what I always would do, eat some breakfast, and then I started making a video. I got about 30 minutes into making the video. I was almost done. Back then, my videos were 3 to 5 minutes long every video. I don't even know how I made them that short. I must have cut out a lot of key details and stuff. And for some reason, you guys liked them at that length back then. So it took me barely any time to make them. I would just record them really fast. So yeah, 30 minutes in, I was almost done with the video, and one of my friends calls me up. We'll just call his friend Ethan, okay? So my homie Ethan calls me. I answer. Usually he didn't call me. Usually he would text me, so I thought it was kind of odd that he was calling me. So I answered, and I was like, "What's up, man? You okay?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm fine. What's up?" I was like, "Nothing, man. Just making a video. Are you okay? You don't usually call me." He's like, "Yeah, man. I just I'm on the road right now, and I want to text. Thought I'd call you." I'm like, "Okay, bet. What's good?" He's like, "Nothing, bro. What are you doing after your video?" I was like, "Nothing. What about you?" He's like, "Nothing. I'm trying to do some shit. You want to link up?" And I was like, "Bet." He's like, "Okay, cool. Just text me after your video. I'll let you know when I'm on the way." I'm like, "All right, cool." So yeah, I had a plan. I was going to make a video, get done with the video, text Ethan, then he would come and pick me up whenever, right? So that was cool, something to look forward to, and yeah, it was cool. So I finished the video, I uploaded it, I then texted Ethan. I was like, "Hey man, ready whenever you are." And before I knew it, he was at my house picking me up, probably about 45 minutes later. So he pulls up, I go outside, I get in the car, we start driving around aimlessly like I would usually do with my friends. We just drive around and bump music and get fast food and then kind of try and find something to do. And after me and Ethan drove around for 20 minutes or so, we ended up picking up another friend of ours. We hit up this other dude that we were friends with at the time. We'll call him Josh. We picked Josh up, and we're all riding around, three of us, just bumping music, enjoying the nice summer night, had the windows down. And yeah, just riding around. Now, about an hour into us all hanging out, the three of us, I had an idea. So I grew up down the street from this really, really good local burger place, and they sold milkshakes and stuff as well. So I thought, okay, let's do that. So yeah, I asked everybody if they'd want to do that, and everyone seemed down. They're like, "Yeah, we'll go to this burger place." Most of us weren't that hungry, but it was still something to do, and we could just get milkshakes or something because they served ice cream and stuff too. So that's what we did. We went to this burger place, and upon arriving there, it was very packed, a lot of people there. Ended up actually running into some people we know from our school there, which was kind of funny. And we just spent most of the time just sitting in the back in one of the booths, just sipping milkshakes and chatting shit, doing what teenagers do, right? And hanging out. Now, about 30 minutes into being there, we finished our milkshakes. We were no longer ordering anything. We were just kind of sitting there, and we were getting pretty bored. And we were about to leave, when all of a sudden, another group of people walked into this burger place that we knew from school. Not the same ones I just mentioned, a different group. And I knew all of them except one person. There was this one girl in the group who I'd never seen before, never met her. She looked to be about the same age as me, and she was a pretty girl, right? Like, pretty cute girl. And I was like, oh, like, okay, I wonder, like, who that is, because I know everyone else that walked in, not her, though. And they came up to our table, and we were saying hi to them. And one of the people in that group that I knew and went to school with, he introduced me to her. He's like, hey, this is my cousin. She's hanging out with us tonight. Her name's Hannah. And I was like, hey, nice to meet you, Hannah. She's like, you too. We then proceeded to start talking, me and Hannah. She asked me like what school I go to. I told her I don't go to school anymore because I dropped out at this point. But if I did, it was this high school. And she was like, oh, cool. Like, same one as my cousin? I was like, yeah. And she's like, is that how you guys know each other? I was like, yep. And she's like, oh, that's awesome. I go to this school. And she actually went to a school that was like 30 minutes away, like completely different county. So that was pretty interesting. And yeah, we're just like talking and talking and talking while everyone else is talking. And it's just me and her. And it's like pretty good conversation. She seems very chill, very chill. We had plenty of mutual friends. I was literally friends with her cousin. She was only a year older than me, so around the same age. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to shoot my shot. So I asked her, I was like, hey, can I get your number? And she was like, yeah, of course. And she gives me her number. And shortly after that, everyone ended up like kind of splitting up. They went to their table and we left ours and left the restaurant. And when we got in the car, I told Ethan and Josh, I was like, yo, I actually got that girl's number, that Hannah girl. And Josh was like, you did? I didn't even see that shit. I was like, yeah, man. He's like, bro, hell yeah. Like, she's good looking. Like, good on you. I was like, thanks, dude. Little did I know, I just opened Pandora's box, bro. I just opened a door to hell. I just split open the multiverse, and a lot of different crazy outcomes were about to happen to me, right? I'm just kidding. I'm being dramatic. But little did I know, I did just invite some pretty unfortunate situations into my life. So, yeah, I got her number. And we started texting pretty much immediately. Like literally the second I left the burger place, I texted her and said hello. And we started like talking immediately. And we ended up texting for the next 2 weeks, non-fucking stop. And it becomes pretty apparent pretty quick that I like her and she likes me. So I decide after like 2 weeks of talking to her, that's probably a good idea to ask her to go on a date with me. So I did. I was like, hey, would you be down to go out with me? Like go to a movie this weekend or something? And she's like, yeah, that'd be great. So we planned it. I got reservations at a pretty nice restaurant, and then after we had a movie, and I was very excited. So fast forward to the day of the first date. It comes along. I quickly, make my video that day. I get that done with. I then get ready for the date. I shower, get ready, get a nice, pretty nice outfit on, and then I go meet up with her at this restaurant, right? Now, upon getting there, the date started off very, very good. Just like when I first met her, just, talking, having a lot in common. Everything's great, right? And then we start getting a little bit more personal because it's like, okay, we've known each other for 2 weeks. We've been texting. Like, we know a little bit more about each other now. We can start talking about the more personal stuff, right? So she starts. She asked me, like, what some of my previous relationships have been like, to which I tell her. I was like, not bad, but also some of them not good. And I told her about some of the stories I've told on this channel. And I've told her about some of the relationships that were not bad, but just didn't work out. And, I was just being honest, completely honest. And then after that, I asked her about her relationships. I was like, what about yours? Like, anything crazy happened to you? Anyone, like, not who you expected and did some crazy stuff? And she was like, yeah, literally every single ex of mine. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I've literally dated 6 guys and all of them have been insane. And I was like, do tell. And she told me from the start, literally all the way from her first relationship to her most recent ex, about all of them and how they started and ended. And she made all of them sound like the devil. Literally every single relationship she talked about, one of them either cheated or like, was really, really fucked up to her and mean. She just said that all of them were really, really bad. Now at the time, I just, told her I was sorry that happened to her. That really, really sucks. And, glad that she's out of those situations now. But looking back at that now, I think there was a part of her that was not telling the truth. I think there was a good portion of those relationships where she was the problem and not the ex. Because, listen, guys, there is such thing as getting like a revolving door of, boyfriends or girlfriends that kind of suck. And you end up, getting cheated on or, getting people, being the problem. But if somebody tells you they've dated 6 people in a row and all of those 6 people are the problem and they were like bad and essentially saying like they're just all bad and the person telling you that is just all good, it's probably a red flag, right? Okay, like usually someone doesn't date 6 people in a row that are all terrible without some blame on themselves. Like me personally, I know when to take the blame, okay? I've had relationships where, I think it's the fault of the other person as to why the relationship failed, and there's relationships where I think I'm at fault. No human being is perfect. There's going to be blame on both sides. So when someone tells me that 6 relationships in a row are the fault of all of those 6 people and not themselves to any degree, it's usually a red flag. But at that time, when Hannah told me this, I didn't view it as a red flag. I was so into her at that time and so like newly interested in her. I just kind of wrote it off as like, oh, she's probably telling the truth, whatever, right? But yeah, looking back now, I'm like, oh shit, that was a red flag. I should have clocked that. But anyway, yeah, me and her have a very nice dinner. We talk about all sorts of things from our past relationships to what we want to do when we're older. And I told her that, that I wanted to do YouTube and that I was kind of already doing it and it was going really well. And she was really happy about that. She told me she wanted to be a veterinarian, said she wanted to help animals. I thought that was very cool, very sweet of her, and also a really cool career path in my opinion, because when I was a kid, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, overall, good first date, right? Classic first date type shit. Well, after that, we went to the movies and saw a movie. Movie was good. Nothing really to talk about there. Pretty just standard stuff. Just hung out, watched the movie, held hands, cuddled a little bit. That was it, right? Well, after the first date, I did something I don't typically do, and I immediately asked her to be my girlfriend. Yeah, usually I wouldn't, jump in that quick. Usually I would text them for another week or two or go on a couple more dates first, but I thought, you know what, this girl, she seems different. I'm going to ask her to be my girlfriend. And I did. And she said yes, which at the time I was very stoked. I was very happy about that. But like I said earlier, man, little did I know I was inviting a whole bunch of things to happen. So literally 2 days after I'd asked her to be my girlfriend, I asked her out again. I was like, hey, you want to go get dinner again, see another movie or something? Just kind of do the same thing. She was down for it. And we went and had that second date. And this second date went a little bit differently than the first. So when we were at dinner that second date, we started talking about our exes again. And she brought up a past relationship of mine, specifically with this girl that she knew. Yeah, she knew one of my exes. They weren't best friends or anything, but they used to be friends in middle school. And she brought it up and she was like, hey, so I kind of want to talk more about that relationship of yours. And I was like, sure, what about it? She's like, so how long were you together? And I was like, 4 months. And she was like, what about her, did you not like as a girlfriend? When you guys broke up, what do you look back on and think, hey, I didn't like that she did, so I can know not to do those things? And I was like, I don't think you're going to do those things. She's like, well, what'd she do? And I told her, I was like, well, she was extremely, extremely insecure because of her past relationships. She had been cheated on and she wasn't over it yet, So every waking moment we'd be hanging out, if I was on my phone at all, she'd be looking down my shoulder, looking at what I'm doing and making sure I'm not texting another girl or something. And sometimes when I'd sleep, I'd wake up and I'd catch her on my phone going through my stuff, my messages. And she obviously never found anything, but that upset me. She didn't trust me. We'd been together for months and she didn't trust me still. I thought that was kind of weird. And immediately Hannah gets a look on her face, a look of disappointment almost. So I asked her, I was like, what's wrong? Are you okay? And she's like, oh, no, nothing. It's fine. You're completely in the right. I'm a little insecure from my past relationships and, I've done that with exes. I've looked at their phones and stuff. And I was like, look, I get it. If you have suspicion about something and it's a valid suspicion and you want to ask me hey, can I check your messages? I would probably be fine with it. But this girl was on my phone all the time. She was always accusing me of cheating when I wasn't. And it just felt like she didn't trust me at all. Like I said, if you had a valid reason to think I was cheating and you wanted to look, I would understand. But she didn't have a valid reason to think that. And Hannah's like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. And she kind of snaps out of the sad face she was giving me. Now, the rest of that second date, nothing really happened to talk about, nothing that interesting. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. Okay, fast forward about 2 weeks. So we are now almost 3 weeks into our relationship of actually being boyfriend and girlfriend. And things are going good. Things are still going really, really good. No huge red flags or anything yet. And me and Hannah had plans to go out on this night. Now, I was very excited for this date that we were about to go on because this wasn't the last two where we went to the movies and got dinner, because those were nice, but they were chill. We had different plans on this night. This night, we were meeting up with a big group of our friends, 6 people, and going to a really, really big amusement park, 45 minutes away, with a bunch of roller coasters, bunch of stuff to do. It was going to be fun, right? It was going to be a date, but not a date. We'd be with each other mainly, but we'd still be with a group of people and hanging out and having fun with our friends. So I was excited. Plus roller coasters. What? It's going to be awesome. So we go there. We get there. The first hour of being there was amazing. We were riding roller coasters together in our group, playing mini games, kind of branching off every once in a while. Me and Hannah would like branch off and do our own thing. Then we'd come back to the group and things were just going really good. It was a really fun first hour of being there, right? So then, after about an hour into being there, Hannah wants to ride the Sea Dragon ride. You know that ride that just goes up, down in like a boat. Yeah, she wanted to ride that. Me personally, I fucking hate that ride. I used to love it. Okay, I used to. It used to be really fun, and I still think it's fun. But for some reason, that ride makes me want to puke more than any ride in the world. I could ride a roller coaster with like 7 corkscrews and 2 loops that's like 5 minutes long and super fast and just crazy up, down, and that wouldn't make me throw up or nauseous. But that Sea Dragon ride, for some reason, just always makes me want to throw up and pushes me to that point of like, oh shit, I feel sick. But she wanted to ride it, and I thought, yeah, let's do it. So we go. We get in line. It was just me and her. We kind of split off from the group for this one. Everybody else wanted to keep riding roller coasters, and Hannah wanted to do this one ride, so we split off, right? So we get on the Sea Dragon. We sit in the very back because that's where you get the most, like, hang time, the most air. And we're sitting down. We were one of the first people on the ride, and they're letting more people from the line in. And all of a sudden, I look over at Hannah, and she's got a very concerned face on, like a very scared, almost like nervous, anxious face, right? I was like, hey, are you okay? Like, you afraid of the ride? And she goes, no, my ex just got on. And she points in the direction of him. And I look, and there's this dude about 4 rows ahead of us. He's facing towards us as well. And he's looking our direction. And I think he saw us as well, because he's kind of giving us a look too. He was kind of giving Hannah the look that she was giving him, kind of like concerned and like anxious about something, right? And I look over at Hannah, and I was like, hey, look at me. And she looks. And I was like, hey, don't look at him. Like, relax. Like, the ride's going to be quick. We'll get off it. We'll get the hell away from him. We'll get you somewhere far away where you don't have to see that dude, not think about him. Like, don't worry. Just look at me. She was like, thank you. So the ride, starts. We get through the ride. It was kind of awkward. We couldn't really focus on having fun because her ex was literally 4 rows ahead of us, like staring at us. So, not the best ride ever. And then the ride ends. We get off of it. And we start walking away from it. Now, as we're walking away, I turn my head around and I see that dude following us, her ex. And she notices it. And she's like, I can't do this right now. I'm going to go to the bathroom for like 5 minutes. Hopefully he just fucks off. And I was like, okay. So she finds the girl's bathroom. She goes in there and I'm just waiting outside for her. And her ex is like sitting on a bench like 8 to 10 feet away from me, right? And he's looking at me. And it looks like he wants to make contact with me and like say something. So I just walk up to him. And I was like, yo, like, are you good? Like, you're kind of following us and like you're waiting outside the bathroom where my girlfriend's at. And I know that you're her ex. So like, what's good, man? Like, do you want to talk to her? Do you want to talk to me? Like, what's up? And I wasn't trying to be confrontational. I was just curious. And this dude, he goes, bro, I want to talk to you. I was just waiting a sec, making sure she didn't come back out right away, because I need to talk to you about something. And I was like, all right, man, well, I'm here now. I'm in front of you. You got a minute. So what's up? And he was like, dude, like, I'm not trying to sound like the jealous ex here and like fuck up your whole thing you got going on with her. But bro, be careful. And this was weird. This was not what I expected. Like, I thought he was about to be like, yo, why you with my ex? You know what I mean? Like, pressing me. But he was like concerned for me. He was telling me to be careful. So I said, I was like, what do you mean be careful? Be careful about what? He's like, bro, Hannah, be careful. Like, I dated her for a year. The worst year of my life. Like, she is scary, dude. Like, be careful. I'm like, bro, I need more detail. What did she do to you? Because, like, you're just saying shit. I need to, like, hear facts here. Like, what's going on? He's like, dude, we genuinely don't have enough time. Like, it would take me 45 minutes to run through all the shit that has happened with me and her, and I don't have enough time to tell you. But I'll give you a very, very shortened version. She cheated on me multiple times. She vandalized my $30,000 car. She slapped me when I caught her cheating and said that it was my fault. And I have proof. And I was like, proof of what? He's like, bro, everything. Like, what's your number? So I give him my number. Because I'm like, all right, dude, like, these are some serious allegations he's making. Like, if he has proof, I want to see it. So I gave him my number. And after he took my number, he's like, all right, I'll text you later. And he walks off. And like, perfect timing. Right after he walks off, she comes out. And she's like, is he gone? And I was like, yeah. I talked to him. I got him to leave. And she's like, oh no, you talked to him? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, why? And I was like, I just didn't want him to like keep stalking us. It was kind of weird. And then she's like, what do you guys talk about? Did he say anything about me? And I was like, yeah, he did. He said some pretty wild stuff and then like asked me for my number. So I just gave it to him. And she's like, Austin, you can't text him. And she proceeds to swipe my phone out of my hand, to which I was like, hey, like, what the hell? She goes into my contacts and then like creates a contact for him and then blocks it. Like she put his number into my phone off the top of her head and then blocked it. So obviously I was like, can I have my phone back? And she's like, yeah, here. She gives it back. And then she's like, Austin, anything he says about me is bullshit. Do not listen to a word he says. I don't know what he said about me to you, but it's not true. And I just said, okay. I didn't want to sit there and argue with her. Like, we're in the middle of a theme park. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to like have this conversation right now. But I'm not going to lie. This was the first like red flag. Because I was like, okay. She immediately blocks this dude from my phone, swiped it out of my hand, didn't even ask. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to be like, hey, can you block him? I don't trust him. But she swiped my phone, blocked his number, gave it back to me and said, don't trust a word he says. Like, it just seemed very, very fishy. But at the same time, based on how she like looked so scared, I thought, you know what? He could be lying too. You know, like it could be either or. It could be her lying. It could be him lying. And I like this girl. So I chose in that moment to just believe her and continue on with our nice day at the park, the theme park. And I'd worry about this later. You know, I didn't want to like do it right then and there. So I kind of just like pushed it to the back of my head. We went, we found a group of friends. We continued our nice day together. And things were good. The whole rest of that day and night were very, very good. So fast forward to later that night, like way later. It's about 2 a.m. I'm at my house by myself. At this point, obviously, I was not with Hannah anymore. She was back at her house. We said goodbye. All my friends were gone. I'm at my house by myself. I'm laying in my basement. I'm on my bed. And I get curious. So I unblocked that dude's number. I did. I unblocked it. I didn't text him, but I unblocked it. Because I thought, you know what? If he has proof of these awful things he's accusing my girl of, I want to see them. Because that's a big deal. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that cheats, vandalizes cars, and hits people. That's not okay. So obviously I wanted to hear him out. And I'm good at like having a bullshit detector. So, you know, if he sent me some shit that wasn't true or looked fake, I would know. So I unblocked him. And I waited. And for the next like 2 days, I didn't hear anything. And then on day 3, I get a text from this guy. He texts me. He goes, yo, man, did you get my messages that night? And I replied, and I was like, yo, I didn't. Your number was blocked. Hannah blocked your number in my phone because she found out that we talked. So she blocked your number. And he goes, yep, typical. Well, I texted you all the proof. I'm going to send it through again right now. And like 10 minutes later, bro, I get like fucking 30 text messages, man, of all sorts of proof. And listen, this dude, he was a Chad, okay? He wasn't some like tech-savvy Photoshop wizard. This shit was real. And this was before AI, too. So like, it's not like he AI'd any of this or, you know, faked any of it. But let me just run through some of the things he showed me, okay? So he sent me a picture of text messages between her and some other guy that the other guy like sent him. Just her cheating, basically. He then sent me text messages that he had with her, admitting to the cheating with that guy. He also sent me a video of like his face looking red, and he flips the camera around and literally says like, what the fuck did you do? And she's trying to like slap the camera out of his hand. And he's like, why would you do that to me? That's pretty insane. Yeah. He then sent me another video, which was security camera footage of her throwing a rock through his fucking windshield. That's pretty crazy. And there was more too. Like there was literally like 6 more things, like screenshots of her cheating and like a different dude she cheated with. And the cherry on top was a photo of the cops in his front yard evaluating the car being all fucked up. And she's in the photo standing to the side of it. And it's like, dude, this was like some real shit. You know what I mean? Like he had photo evidence. And immediately I was like, yo, can you call me? So he calls me, right, on FaceTime. And I answer. And I was like, bro, all right. I want the whole story, start to finish. Like, I want, you know, explanations of these pictures. I want to know every detail that led up to this. And on top of that, I want to know if you did anything wrong too, bro. Because, like, yeah, you sent me a video of your face looking red and you flipping the camera on her, insinuating, like, you know, she slapped you. But, like, bro, I need to know backstory. I need to know what led up to it. Like, did you do anything bad? Was it just her? Like, you know, tell me. He's like, bro, of course. So he tells me everything from like, you know, catching her cheating to the car vandalization to the slapping thing. And it runs so much deeper than I thought it did, bro. He said he was in the process of trying to get a restraining order on her. Like he was actually afraid of her when he saw her at the park that day. That type of shit. And it's crazy, man. Like, he told me everything. He even said if I wanted to, he'd put his mom on the phone, who was like trying to help him get this restraining order, and like talk to her about it. So I did. I talked to her, and she was like, I don't know you, but please don't go through what my son went through. Like, get out now. And I was like, holy shit, this is like scary. So after I talked to them for a good hour, we hang up, right? And I told them, thank you for, giving me all this, and I appreciate, looking out for me, and I was going to go deal with it. So I hang up with them, right? I forgot to mention that the mom also said if I ever needed anything, to like let her know. So yeah. After this, I texted Hannah. I was like, listen, I know you're going to be mad at me, but your ex texted me, and I want your side of things. Because look, guys, even though he sent me a lot of shit that was proof, there's chances that he didn't tell me everything. There's a chance that there's another side to it. Like, I want to know everything. I want to get both sides before I make a decision here of what to do. So I asked her for her side, and she ends up basically telling me that like he cheated on her a bunch, and he was like a cheater and just really, really disloyal and a liar. And then she said something that was kind of wild to me. She said that she never vandalized his car and that she never slapped him. Now here's the thing. I didn't tell her when I texted her that he sent me proof of a lot of this stuff, especially the car thing. Like, she was already on camera doing it. So I didn't mention that. I didn't mention that I had the footage. As for the slapping thing, that video, like he shows his face being red and he flips it on her and she's trying to smack the camera out of his hand. So like, obviously it definitely looks, like what I think. But as for like the car vandalization thing, that is like 120% proof, right? Like, caught in the act on camera. Like, there's no lying about that. So after she told me about, her not doing that to the car and that he was lying, I sent her the video. I was like, well, he sent me this, and like, unless he's really good at using CGI, I don't think this is fake. To which she replied, and she said, you don't believe me? And I was like, it's not that I don't believe you. It's just like, there's a video of it. Like, what do you make of this? Like, that's you in the video. To which she was like, call me. So I called her up, right? I wanted to hear what she had to say. And the minute she answered the phone, she just starts apologizing and admitting to it. Like, immediately she's like, look, I'm sorry I lied to you. The video is me. I know. I was just embarrassed. I didn't want to look like a crazy ex. I didn't want to look like a crazy girlfriend. I didn't want you to break up with me. I'm sorry. And I was like, what about everything else? Like, he told me you cheated on him. He sent me screenshots of you texting other dudes. Like, what about that stuff? She's like, yeah, I did, but he cheated on me first. And I was like, okay, what about slapping him? What about that? You said you didn't do that. And, you said the same thing about the car thing, but that was a lie. You slap him too? She's like, yeah, I did. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah. And I was like, why? And she goes, because he kept trying to take my phone to see if I was cheating, so I slapped him. And I was like, did he hit you first? She said, no. So now shit's serious, right? Like, listen, put the cheating stuff aside, like the whole he said, she said, oh, he cheated, no, she cheated, no, like they cheated first, like that kind of shit I didn't care about. What I cared about in this situation is safety. And I'm not trying to have her slap me or slap anybody else or vandalize my car or my mom's car or whatever, right? So right then and there, I was like, you know what? This is too much, too fast. I don't want to be together anymore. And I broke up with her. Because obviously, like, this whole situation was too fucked. Like, even if she truly was, not going to do that ever again, I just still wouldn't be able to not think about it. So yeah, I broke it off. I broke up with her. And naturally, after I did that, she was very upset. She was like, really? Like, we can't talk about it? Like, you can't trust me to, like, be better? And I was like, honestly, like, no, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know, all right? And because I don't know, I don't think it's good if we stay together. I don't want to, like, gamble with trust. Like I said, my previous relationship, I didn't like when she didn't trust me. And that goes for me as well. I don't want to, like, not trust you. So, yeah, let's break up. And she was very upset. Like, very upset. She started crying, started saying, like, this is why she didn't want me to talk to him at the amusement park, to which I was like, why not? Because I would hear about what happened. She's like, yeah, I don't want you to think I'm crazy. And it's like, dude, maybe you shouldn't have done all that stuff if you don't want someone to think you're crazy, like, that's not a good thing to be doing. You can't, hurt people and smash their car windshields. Even if somebody cheats on you 50 times, bro, I'm not going to your house with a rock and slamming it through your windshield where your family lives, right? And if somebody's accusing me of cheating and they're trying to, like, grab my phone out of my hand, I'm not slapping them, right? Like, I'm just going to literally put my phone in my pocket and be like, stop trying to grab my phone, right? Like, I'm not going to slap them. So anyway, I broke up with her, right? And after having a pretty, back and forth, sad conversation about it. And, she was upset, obviously. We hang up like 2 minutes later, right? And immediately I called up her ex, right? I call him up. He answers. I was like, yo, I broke up with her. Got some things I want to ask you about real quick, though. He's like, yeah, man. I was like, so first of all, she's saying that you cheated a bunch as well. And like you did it first and all this stuff. To which he was like, nope, never cheated on her once. Absolute bullshit. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. And I was like, all right. Another thing. When she slapped you, by the way, she admitted it. She said that you were trying to grab her phone because you thought she was cheating. And, you kept trying to grab it. So she like slapped you away. He's like, nope, that's another lie. I was like, all right, then what happened? He goes, she took my phone to see if I was cheating. And I said, can I have my phone back? When I went to go walk up and grab it, she slapped me and threw it at me. My mom saw the whole thing. You could even see her in the background of the video I took. And once again, he got his mom on the phone. Like, she admitted it. And then I looked at the video and she is in the background. So it's like she was there. Once again, though, a lot of he said, she said shit. A lot of like, there's room for people to lie, obviously. But it was, two people, one of which was an adult. So it did seem legit, but whatever, right? We'll never really know what actually happened in that room because none of us were there. But anyway, after I talked to him for like 10 minutes about it, he was like, bro, like, I'm serious. Be careful from here on out. Because when me and her broke up, like, she got stalkerish, like really stalkerish. She was texting me on like alternate phone numbers. She showed up to my door a few times. Like, this is why we're trying to get the restraining order on her. And I was like, bro, I'm scared now. He's like, bro, just be on alert. That's all. Like, keep an eye out. I'm like, all right. And boy, oh boy, was he not fucking kidding. Because literally the next day rolls around and I wake up to a knock on my front door. And my mom answers it and she goes, hey, Austin, your girlfriend's here. And I was like, my girlfriend? My mom didn't know that we broke up yet. So she thought that, Hannah was just coming over to hang out. And I walk up to the front door and there she is just standing there. And I was like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I just feel like I need closure. I need to talk to you more. And I was like, what closure do you need? Like, we broke up. Like, there's nothing more to be said. We talked about why we broke up. We broke up. Like, that's it. She's like, yeah, but like, you really don't think that at any point in the future you could trust me again? And I was like, I don't know. Probably not. No. Like, in a relationship? No, definitely not. Maybe as friends, but no. Even then, I don't know. Like, I don't usually become friends with my exes. And she was like, really? So that's just it. That's it. And I was like, I guess. And she proceeds to turn around, walk down my porch, and kick over my mom's plant. Just kicks it over and breaks the pot. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And she's like, see ya. And she throws me the finger and leaves. And my mom came out and she was like, what the hell? And I was like, yep, we broke up. Forgot to tell you that. So she's upset with me. And my mom was like, well, what'd my plant do? Like, why'd she kick my plant? And I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry. And I had to like go and buy her a new pot and like repot the plant. And it was just so stupid, man. I was like, what the fuck? This girl's like really causing me issues with my mom now. Like, this isn't good. So after this, for the next 2 days, she keeps trying to text me, right? She texts me on her main number that night saying sorry about the pot, like breaking it. To which I replied and I said, just please don't text me anymore because I was very upset with her. And then she texted me again and again and again, all on the same night, by the way, the same night she broke this shit. So I blocked her. I blocked her phone number. The next day, she texted me from like an email, like an iCloud or something. I blocked that. The next day, she texted me from another number. This time it was like a green bubble, like an Android. So I thought maybe she made like one of those like phone numbers on like an app or something to text me. I blocked that. Then another number texted me. I blocked that. And I'm like, yo, this fucking girl, man, like, what am I about to do here? So I end up getting an app that like blocks random numbers from texting or calling you. And I just figured I'd use that for a while. And that worked for a while. I'd say for about a week, I didn't hear from her at all. So I thought, okay, like I found the method. I got all of her numbers blocked. Like she's not showing up to my door anymore. It seems like things were good, right? Well then, after about a week, she shows up to my fucking house again. This time, it's in the middle of the night. Dude, it's like 12:30 midnight. I'm on my Xbox playing with some friends, playing some COD, right? Chilling, enjoying my night. Video was done for the day. I was just chilling, enjoying my night, playing some video games. And I hear a tapping sound on my fucking window, my bedroom window. I hear a tapping sound. And I thought that it was the bush outside my window. Because sometimes when the wind would be really, really strong, it would like blow the branches into my window. So I opened it to make sure like, I could either like break the branch off or like, move it so it stops doing that. And I see just this creepy face in my window, like just like a silhouette of a face. And I was like, what the fuck? And I kind of like jumped back for a second, and then I realized it was her. And I like open it, and I was like, what are you doing here? Get the hell off my property. And she was like, Austin, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm having a panic attack every night, not talking to you. Like, I got so close with you so fast. Like, I need to talk to you. And I was like, no, you don't need to talk to me. You need to talk to like someone you love that isn't me, okay? You need to talk to your mom or your dad or like your brothers. I don't know, but not me, okay? I can't fix whatever problem you're having. And she's like, yes, you can. Like, it's about you. I miss you. And I was like, listen, I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. But I'm not helping you by talking to you because it won't help you. You'll only get more attached and it'll only be more unhealthy and more toxic. So no, like, please stop talking to me. Stop trying to contact me. Don't show up to my house in the middle of the night. Like, what are you doing? And she was like, what, you think I'm crazy? And I was like, I'm not saying that, but showing up to my house in the middle of the night, this is not good. Like, not healthy, not okay. You need to leave now. And I shit you not. She goes, what if I say no? I'm like, then I'm calling the fucking cops. You were literally on my property, tapping at my window in the middle of the night. Like, they will take my side. And she turns around, she starts walking away. And I thought, okay, thank fuck. Now, as she's walking away back towards her car, I thought, please let her not break anything. Like, please don't break anything on your way out like you did with my mom's plant. Like, leave my mom's plants out of this. And she did. She did not. She did not fucking, mess with any of her plants, right? Thought I was in the clear. I thought. She gets into her car. She proceeds to back up and start pulling out of my driveway. And I don't know if it's because she just wasn't looking or she was doing this intentionally. I'm going to go with option number 2. But she absolutely fucking destroys my mailbox. Plows through it with the back of her car. Just sends that shit out of the ground into a million little pieces and just fucks my mailbox up. And it makes a loud ass sound, and then she skirts off. She drives away. She's very lucky the kind of mailbox that I had at the time was like kind of cheap and like wasn't very like well planted into the ground because it didn't like really take a lot to get it out of the ground, right? If it was one of those ones that was like wood and like really like deep in the ground, she would have fucked her car up really bad. But she didn't. She was fine. She drove off and there was no dent that I could see on the back when she drove away. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So immediately I go into my mom's room and I wake her up, right? Because like I didn't know who else to tell. I was like, Mom, my ex just showed up to the house in the middle of the night, tapped on my window. I told her to leave. She got mad and then destroyed our mailbox. She was like, what? And she gets up out of bed. She goes up to the window. She sees the mailbox in pieces in the street. And she's like, oh my fucking... okay, hold on. And she like pulls out her phone and she calls someone. And I thought she was calling the police, but she wasn't exactly calling the police. She kind of was. You'll hear what I mean in a sec. So she's on the phone for like 20 minutes, right? Talking to someone. Sounded like the cops, like I said, but, I don't know. Anyway, 30 minutes later, this car pulls up. It's SUV. Dude gets out. I immediately realize who it is. It's her friend from like high school. This dude's like a pretty high up police officer. So she called the cops, but not directly. She didn't call 911 and like talk to an operator. She called her friend that's a cop because she wanted some advice. And he came over and like he assessed it, took a look, asked me what happened. I gave him the full story. And he's like, all right, tomorrow I'm going to talk to them, the family. So the next day, like while he was in his police gear and everything, he like went there to her house and talked to her parents. And honestly, we went kind of easy on her because we could have called 911 directly and probably made a report and gotten like, her in trouble. Because like, it's not like it's just nothing to destroy someone's mailbox. So you can get in trouble for that. Very bad. So we went kind of easy by like having this dude kind of, separately come and talk to them and not actually like make a huge report out of it and like make it a real thing. Obviously, if you ever find yourself in this situation, just call the cops. Don't do that. Honestly, I don't know why my mom called her friend and didn't just call 911, but that's what she did, and I thought it was the right thing to do at the time. But if you're ever in that situation, just call the cops. Anyway, he went to their house. He scared the shit out of them because he was like, I'm a cop, and I got a call last night being like, you destroyed my friend's mailbox. And immediately her parents were super apologetic. They called my parents, said sorry, offered to pay to fix it, which they did. They bought us a new one, and, we got that installed that day. But that didn't change the fact that the daughter, a.k.a. Hannah, a.k.a. my ex, who was being very, very unreasonable, didn't really learn a lesson. You know what I mean? She didn't get cuffed. She didn't go to jail. She didn't, really have to do shit because literally her parents just straight up paid for it to be fixed. And that was it. They said they'd ground her, but it's like, dude, what good is that going to do? She'll probably just sneak out and show up anyway. And you want to know what she did? You guys want to take a wild guess what she did when they grounded her? She snuck out and showed up to my house again. Again. Yeah, 3 days later, I'm in my room, once again, middle of the night. It's like 2 a.m. this time, playing Xbox with my friends, enjoying my life, thinking that the situation was finally over, thinking that there was no possible way that it could happen again, right? Well, I'm stupid because guess what? I hear a fucking tap on my window, and I literally thought to myself, please be the fucking branch of the bush. Please be the bush outside my window. Please don't let it be Hannah. Please. And I walk up to that window and I peek through the blinds and there she is. And I open the window and I was like, Hannah, I'm going to call 911 in 5 seconds if you don't turn around and start running back to your car. 5, 4, 3, and she turns around, she starts running. And I was like, thank fuck. And yeah, she gets in her car and she drives off. And I remember just sitting there thinking like, yo, I don't even feel safe in my own fucking home anymore, dude. Like, she's fucking shown up all hours of the night. It's weird. So after she leaves, this time, by the way, she didn't do anything. She didn't break my mailbox again, didn't break any, pots for my mom's plants. Like, we were good, right? She drove off this time without doing anything. But it didn't change the fact that she showed up again to my house in the middle of the night, right? So I didn't know what to do. Obviously, like I said, call the cops if this ever happens to you, please. But yeah, in that moment, I didn't know what to do. So I ended up calling up her ex, and I was like, yo, dude, you weren't fucking kidding. This girl has showed up to my house literally in the middle of the night twice now. Once during the day, vandalized my mom's fucking pot, like broke my mailbox during the night. Like, this girl, you weren't kidding, man. Like, I got to be careful. And he's like, bro, like, if you need to, call the police. Like, seriously. And I was like, bro, I'm considering it. He's like, dude, if she shows up again, I would. So here's what I ended up doing. Like I said, I should have just called the cops, but I did this. I ended up unblocking Hannah's number, and I texted her, and I was like, hey, this is your one and only warning you're getting, your one free pass. If you show up to my house again, I am calling the police. I am telling them everything that you've done to my mom's flower, to the mailbox, to the fact that you're showing up at my house in the middle of the night, and I'm letting them deal with it, okay? I'm not going to call your parents. I'm not going to have my mom's friend come talk to your parents again. I'm just going to call the police straight up, like 911, if you ever show up again. So please choose wisely and do not show up to my house again. And then I blocked her. I didn't even want to see what her response was, right? And it worked. She stopped showing up to my house completely, which was great. But I wish I could say that was the end of Hannah because it really wasn't. It just was not the end of her. Because like for the next 2 months, I thought I was good, right? I thought she was gone, but like on month 3, she tried to add me on Facebook, which was weird. I never even had her added to begin with because I don't use Facebook like that. So I blocked her on there. Then she followed me on Instagram the same day, so I blocked her on there. And I wish I could say that was the end of it, but then a month after that, I'm at Best Buy, right, with my friend. He was buying a fucking external hard drive for his PC. And I look to my left, and over by the laptops, I see Hannah and her friend just doing some laptop shopping. And immediately I look at my friend. I'm like, bro, my ex is over there, and I'm not trying to see her. We got to go. He's like, all right, bro, like, here, go to the front. I'll meet you up there in a sec. So I turn around, right, and I go to start walking away, and I hear behind me, Austin? And I thought, oh, no, man. Oh, no. I didn't even want to turn around. I just kept walking. I ignored it, and I kept walking. And she literally goes, Austin, don't ignore me. So I turn around and guess who's standing there? Fucking Hannah. And I was like, what? And she goes, can we talk? And I was like, no, I really don't think that's a good idea. No. She goes, no, like it's not gonna be anything crazy. I just want to like say hello, see how you're doing, and apologize. And I was like, okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one. And she's like, well, you're not even hearing me out. Like, don't you want to hear my apology? And I was like, no, just saying sorry is enough. And I go to turn around and she's like, well, I didn't even get to say sorry. Like, you're not letting me talk. And I was like, no, like, I don't want to talk. I appreciate that you want to apologize, but like, I don't want to talk. Okay. Like, have a good one. And I go to turn around and she starts freaking out. She's like, you're so fucking immature. Like, yeah, walk away. Just walk away. And I hear something whiz by my head. And I look, and she threw a fucking DVD at me, a fucking Blu-ray. I didn't even know they still sold those there, okay? They fucking threw a DVD at me of a fucking Christmas movie. It was right by my head. Thankfully, she missed, and it fell down. And I looked down, and I was like, what the fuck? Polar Express on Blu-ray? Where'd that come from? And I turn around, and she's standing there fucking angry. And I was like, did you just throw the fucking Polar Express at me? And my friend, by the way, he's fucking dying. He's laughing. He shouldn't have been laughing. He should have been getting between us and making sure she didn't throw anything else, but he's laughing because she threw a fucking Christmas movie at me. Now, luckily, there was an employee like 2 aisles over that heard the commotion and like heard the DVD get thrown, and he heard me like talking about it. So he came over and he pointed to her and he was like, did you just throw that at him? And she goes, yep, I did. Just straight admitted it. And he goes, come with me. And he ended up like escorting her out of the store and kicking her out. So that was nice. Shout out to that Best Buy employee. But after that, me and my friend, we left. We got the fuck out of there. We went to our car. We got the hell out of there, right? Because we were not trying to be in there any longer and risk her coming back. You know, who knows? She might come back with like a full box set of like a Christmas family DVD movie bundle and start just fucking throwing them at me like ninja stars. So I was not trying to stay there. So we left, right? And I remember on the way home from Best Buy, I called up her cousin because her cousin was my friend. And he was actually the one that introduced us that day at the burger place. I called him on FaceTime. And I was like, yo, I haven't really talked to you in a while. But, yo, your cousin, she is something. He's like, what? What's she doing now? Because he kind of knew about our breakup and shit and like how she was showing up to my house. But he didn't know that I saw her recently. And I told him what just happened at Best Buy. And he was like, bro, yeah, man, like, just steer clear of her. If you ever see her out in public again, just run. Just fucking run, man. Don't even try and talk to her. I was like, bro, I was trying to not talk to her, but she got mad and threw a Blu-ray at me. He's like, yeah, bro, well, even then, if she comes up to you, just run. Don't even talk to her. And we were both laughing. Like, even he knew his cousin was fucking super unhinged. But yeah, I am proud to say that this interaction where she threw the fucking DVD at me was the last interaction I ever had with her. I didn't see her after this ever again. To this day, I have not seen her. And I can't lie, guys, I'm afraid I'm gonna. Because, you know, I'm back in New York now. I moved back here from LA quite a few years ago. And I'm pretty sure she still lives here, based on what I've heard through friends and shit. And I don't want to run into her. I really don't. Because it's been quite a long time. But who knows, man? You don't know, all right? I'm really hoping this isn't one of those stories that gets a part 2 one day. So fingers crossed. But yeah, all in all, I didn't see her again after this, and I have kept my distance. I have, not seen her since, right? I still have her blocked on everything, and I don't ever want to see her again. But that leads me to a important part of this video, moral to the story. Moral of the story is, if you have anyone like this, acting like this towards you, call the cops. Call the fucking cops. Don't wait. Don't give them a million chances like I did. Just call the cops. But yeah, guys, that's how it ended. I didn't see her again after that. The last time I saw her, I got the Polar Express hurled at my head. And thankfully, she missed. I guess that leads me to another moral of this story. Second moral of the story, don't throw DVDs at people. They're not weapons. But yeah, guys, that is the story. I have not seen her since. I hope to never see her again. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys did, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.